Hello everyone, back to tuning in to today's second video, doing the European outlook for today's second video. So as always on a Thursday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for the next week, 10 days across Europe. And I should get time for that for you in a moment. Just to say that first video today was our 6 AM upload, and we've got a 10 to 14 day, but we include all other great features coming up later on this afternoon. Please like, share, subscribe on videos. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Right, let's start off with the weather across Europe today then, shall we? So this is how things are looking. Thursday the 4th of August. So we've got a ridge of high pressure, an area of high pressure across eastern parts of Europe that's ridging down into Mediterranean. That's bringing up a lot of heat northwards again through many parts of Europe. But in the northwest it's cooler and fresher with low pressure in the Norwegian Sea and a cooler northwesterly wind from the Atlantic into the UK and Ireland, with low pressure bringing cooler and more unsettled weather in towards parts of Scandinavia as well. However, most parts of Europe are very hot, and we see this on the upper air temperature. So we have yet another surge of heat from North Africa and the Mediterranean into many western and central parts of Europe. You can see how the heat extends from North Africa through Spain into France up to Germany. Very, very hot air through there, and extending eastwards through in towards the Balkans as well. Temperatures widely into the mid to upper 30s, if not below 40s Celsius. It is a lot cooler out west, so in the far northwest of Europe for the UK and Ireland, we're bringing in much cooler air, fresher air from off the Atlantic at the moment, and these cooler upper air temperatures are making their way into parts of Norway and will eventually get into Sweden as well. Precipitation-wise, look like that. So lots of dry weather, of course, where we've got that really hot air. There are some thunderstorms being sparked on, some over the Pyrenees, some over the Alps. And then more widely unsettled up towards Scandinavia, so outbreaks of rain in towards Norway, thunderstorms breaking out through Denmark into southern parts of Sweden. And then there's some showers into the UK and into Ireland as well. But yes, this is on dry weather in many places at the moment, and extremely hot again from Spain through France into Germany. Yes, another really big heat spike going on, heat wave temperatures widely again into the upper 30s Celsius, some places no doubt knocking on the door of 40 degrees or more. Going further northwards again, it's a lot cooler into Norway, and that cooler air is extending eastwards into parts of Sweden as well. Ireland and the UK looking a lot cooler. The heat does extend over towards the eastern side of Europe as well. So in the Balkans, very hot through there, over towards the Black Sea, down towards Romania, and then through the Med, looking generally hot and in most places too. Move through into tomorrow, Friday, that area of low pressure pushes through Scandinavia, or pushes into Scandinavia, bringing unsettled weather through there. The high pressure is retreating back into western parts of Russia, and the extreme heat will be spreading eastwards as well. At the same time, high pressure begins to reach back in to western Europe from off the Atlantic Ocean. Our air temperatures show the hottest of those temperatures are being squeezed down more towards the south and the southeast of Europe. So the Mediterranean, of course, looks very hot. Spain exceptionally hot, as is most parts of the central bowl of the Med to Italy, and then over the Adriatic to the Balkans, to the Black Sea, we see that very, very hot air being gradually squeezed sort of southwards and eastwards. At the same time, cooler out to the north and west, UK, Ireland, northern parts of France, into the Low Countries, even into parts of Germany, and up to Denmark and the Scandinavian peninsula. All places looking a lot cooler and fresher there tomorrow. Precipitation-wise, not that much in way of thunderstorms, some scattered thunderstorms. Really east parts of Europe, like into or central parts of Europe from western Germany into Poland. Some more widespread storms perhaps over the Alps. They could be pretty torrential in places. Some thunderstorms into some southern and eastern parts of France, around Pyrenees as well. Mainly dry in the south and the east of Europe, where most parts of the Med look dry, most parts of east and southeast of Europe looking dry as well. And then up Scandinavia, you've got thunderstorms pushing from Sweden in towards Finland, breaking down the warm weather and introducing that cooler push of air from off the Norwegian Sea and the Atlantic. More wet weather perhaps moving towards Norway later, and then down into the UK and Ireland. Just some scattered shower, but many places looking reasonably dry. You see that with the temperature, the hottest temperature being pushed more towards the eastern side and southeastern side of Europe, as things turn increasingly cool and fresh out to the north and to the northwest. So for Scandinavia, for the UK, for Ireland, for the Low Countries, for northern parts of Germany and also northern France, temperatures are lowering, but further southwards and eastwards, that's where the hot air will be tomorrow. Saturday we'll see high pressure building in from off the Atlantic, taking control of weather into western parts of Europe, still with low pressure up over Scandinavia though. So the upper air temperature showing a real northwest southeast split on Saturday. Most parts of northern and western Europe looking much cooler, many parts of southern and eastern southeast Europe though looking very hot. Precipitation-wise, heavy showers and thunderstorms from Scandinavia extending through the eastern, northeastern side of Europe, I should say, through those Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia, and also Lithuania as well. More thunderstorms kicking off around the Alpine areas too. Some of those could be quite torrential and pretty widespread by the look of it. A few scattered thunderstorms over Pyrenees. A little wet weather coming into northwestern Scotland. Many other places are looking dry though, and also really hot across those southern southeast areas. Again, for most of the bed, seeing temperature widening into the mid to upper 30 Celsius. The Balkans to the Black Sea looks very hot as well, and that heat does extend up towards Ukraine and into western parts of Russia, but out to west, to west and the northwest, it's a lot cooler. Scandinavia, seeing temperature probably a bit below average, maybe even a slightly autumnal feel across parts of Norway and Sweden on Saturday. And the UK starting to see temperatures beginning to lift up a little bit, bit of a recovery there taking place. Notice very hot air beginning to push from Spain back and towards southern parts of France. Into Sunday, high pressure dominates the weather across many parts of western Europe, and this area of low pressure begin to move northwards out of Scandinavia as well. The upper air temperatures again show north-south split. Northern areas not that hot, a little bit warmer by Sunday into parts of northern Europe, but still probably temperature only about average. The real heat is down across southern parts of Europe again, through most parts of the Mediterranean and into this southeastern corner. Again, a few scattered thunderstorms around Italy, some scattered thunderstorms around the Pyrenees, perhaps more widespread storms over the Alps. Otherwise, most parts of them looking dry, sunny and hot. Further northwards, there's some showery outbreaks of rain through parts of Scandinavia, especially northern Scandinavia, with that area of low pressure lifting out, but otherwise lots of dry weather coming up on Sunday. Precipitation, temperature-wise, I should say, Sunday very hot again, pretty Mediterranean into those southeastern parts of Europe, and that warmth is beginning to push back northwards into parts of France, also into southern Germany, towards some parts of the Low Countries as well. Even southern England beginning to turn a little bit warmer, and that area of high pressure by Sunday. Further northwards, it's still looking quite cool though, those Scandinavia and northeastern parts of Europe. High pressure won't truly in control of weather across most northern and western parts of Europe on Monday. Bring lots of dry weather. Temperature-wise, upper air temperatures very hot again through southern Europe and getting warmer further northwards as well. Lots of dry weather, of course, as you'd expect, over that area of high pressure, so from Ireland and France, the UK, all the way over towards the eastern part of Europe. Actually, we see lots and lots of dry weather. Some thunderstorms breaking out through the far eastern part of Europe, though. That's triggered by the heat, of course. Some showers and thunderstorms mostly scattered in nature through parts of Italy. Again, around the mountainous areas, the Alps, the Pyrenees. Yes, there could be a few storms there, but most places are looking dry. A little bit of patchy rain coming into far northwest of Scotland. Excuse me. Temperature-wise, very hot again through southern Europe. That heat trying to push northwards, gradually getting hotter through France, into the area of high pressure, taking the temperature back into the 30 Celsius. And that heat beginning to go northwards in towards Germany, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands, and some parts of the UK, and I'm warming up. Even Scandinavia is beginning to get a little bit warmer by the time we get through into Monday. Tuesday, big area of high pressure dominates across many parts of Europe. Upper air temperatures look very hot again in the south of Europe, through the Mediterranean in particular, and into Spain looks really hot, and that heat is gradually lifting its way northwards into southern and central parts of France as well, turning very warm under the area of high pressure for the rest of Europe, with the strong August sunshine coming through. Again, we see some thunderstorms through parts of Italy, focused around mountainous areas like the Alps and the Pyrenees. Otherwise, there's lots of dry weather under that area of high pressure in the north, central and western part of Europe. Some thunderstorms over on the eastern side of Europe, but some outbreaks of rain trying to push in towards Norway and northern parts of Sweden as well. It looks hot through most parts of the Med. That heat is pushing northwards, so I think by Tuesday we'll probably take the temperature back into the mid-30s Celsius through France, probably into the low 30s Celsius to some parts of England, the Low Countries and Germany, and even up into southern parts of Sweden, Norway and also Denmark. We see those temperatures getting back into the mid to upper 20s Celsius. At the same time though, it could be cooling down a little bit over on the east side of Europe as those thunderstorms break out. High pressure is dominant by the time we get into Wednesday across many areas, so upper air temperatures look really hot through the Med and very warm elsewhere under that area of high pressure. Of course, with the high pressure, that brings lots and lots of dry weather too. What rain there is mostly over mountainous areas, over Italy in the form of thunderstorms, and perhaps into some of those eastern, southeastern parts of Europe. Also some wet weather into northern and western parts of Scandinavia, particularly focused on Norway. But that said, most areas are dry in that big area of high pressure, and it's hot as well. Temperatures widening across northern and western Europe into the mid to upper 20s, not below mid 30s Celsius. Again, just that little bit cooler perhaps in the far northeast part of Europe, Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania. We get through into Thursday, not much change. High pressure still brings lots of dry, very warm or hot weather. We might be starting to see signs of a fungi low developing over France, however. Upper air temperatures look very hot across France on Thursday, with that heat trying to surge its way northwards as well. By now, we've got temperatures well and truly back into the 30 Celsius, I think, across much of southern England. And lots of dry weather again in that area of high pressure. Most areas are looking dry. Some scattered thunderstorms across southern parts of France, some scattered storms through Italy, and perhaps more widespread storms breaking out from the southeastern part of Europe through Romania, and maybe even going down towards parts of Greece. Most parts of Medbus still looking mainly dry. And further north, of course, under the high pressure, lots and lots of dry weather through there. Really hot again across most western parts of Europe. Very hot through France. Temperatures in some places south of France could be approaching upper 30s Celsius. Back into the low to possibly mid 30s Celsius into parts of southern England. And just generally very hot, really, across most parts of central, northern and western Europe on Thursday. I'll just run you through to day 10. So what happens is that high pressure peninsula retreats a little bit back towards western Russia as a fungi low develops across western parts of Europe. That brings heavy showers, thunderstorms and a breakdown to the hot weather. So eventually we find most storms pushing eastwards and cooler air coming into the west. The hottest of the upper air temperatures sort of slipping more towards the eastern side of Europe as cooler air comes into the north and west. And of course the Med still looks really, really hot. So it's going to be yet another really warm week across most parts of Europe. Very hot week to come in this very, very hot summer. Yeah, so plenty of hot weather on the way. Well, that's European Outlook for this week. Do it all over again next Thursday. We're going to be back later on. It's a 10 to 14 day. That will include all our break features, so come back for that then. But for this week's European Outlook, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.